Welcome to another episode of Behind the Schemes, where we get to see what makes people tick. What's their secret sauce to overcoming adversity, motivating themselves, and just thriving. I'm your co-host, Danny, right here with my lovely mother, Kenice Middleton. So introduce our next guest.
I'm so excited. We have Mawi Dubale, who is a tattoo artist and recently opened his own studio. And so, don't pass that. Did fantastic work on Daniel's off. So he's here with us today. We have never had a tattoo artist. He does amazing work, has his own studio in Tyson's Corner. So he's in the Northern Virginia area. We want to find out more about Mawi and how he navigates business. But first and foremost, we got to know your secret sauce, because you are dealing with customers every day that I'm sure are coming in like, can you draw this amazing thing and do this amazing work? How do you navigate just business, and what's your secret sauce?
How I navigate business, it's more about like perseverance for me. I mean, I kind of have an idea of how I want to set my business forward in front of everybody else's. So I'm like very disciplined with the way I do things. I'm very disciplined with who I work with and what tattoos I do. I have a specific vision I have in mind that I'm trying to get off the ground. And yeah, I mean, that's really like how I'm like selling my business to for it to thrive right now. As far as secret sauce goes, I really just say hard work, being a child of an immigrant family, really pushes me forward and really pushes for excellence from all my pieces that I put out, and trying to make a statement with all my art.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard much about how tattoo artists kind of come about, but have you always been artistic? Were you drawing when you were younger? Like, what was your, is this your plan A? Did you have a plan B, or was this it? Like, you was just artistic from the time you grew up and was just like, bam, I'm going into tattooing.
When I was younger, I was very artistically inclined. Like I drew a lot. I didn't do too much, like fine art or realistic art. It was really just a lot of anime, pencil and paper stuff. But I got some stuff when I used to live in Silver Spring when I was younger. I had some of my pieces put in that Discovery Channel building that they built up when they first
really?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Off the Coastal Road, yeah.
Yeah. I lived corner from there. So it was this was maybe 2000, I think 2005, maybe 2006. It was a long time ago. And coming to high school, I kind of fell off of art. I kind of got big into sports, trying to play football, wrestling, stuff like that. Only until my adulthood did I realize that I really wanted to try something out. I always said I wanted to be a tattoo artist, but it's just saying as a joke, trying to be a rebel against just what my parents always said. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to be a tattoo artist. I don't want to be an engineer or anything like that. The older I got, I kind of it kind of kept growing. And then around I was 22, I think, I was working at Dave & Buster's, and I met this girl who said she tattooed herself, and she bought a kit on Amazon. And so eventually I hurt my back, and I came up with the idea. I was like, why not just try it out? So I invited a bunch of friends over and was like, piece by piece, look, I'll try a free tattoo on you. And I just kept building up from there until I got my apprenticeship and worked through it. Yeah. So that's how
you started as a tattoo artist, party person.
Yeah.
Love it. That's entrepreneurship right there.
It is.
It was literally a build from the ground process. I mean, most artists I would recommend to get an apprenticeship like I did. I mean, I did start off on the wrong way and tattoo for free without any type of guidance. But once I got the chance to get an apprenticeship, I jumped towards that and dropped everything and said, I'm going to actually do it the right way before I sully my name or anything like that,
No, that's sweet. And I'm glad you said that, because my question was going to be, what's been your biggest business challenge? Sounds like that's one. And you already gave people great advice for how to go about doing that. Is there anything else that you say has been a big challenge for you from a business perspective that you had to navigate, or was that it there?
At the start, that was probably the biggest challenge. After I completed my apprenticeship, I believe the biggest challenge was just separating myself from the crowd. Because you can easily fall in the woodwork of just tattooing and making money and, you know, just living through the process. And, you know, it'd be a great life. I mean, you're doing what you love and you're making money, but like, you might not be pushing it to the 100%. At one point I wasn't either. So I kept trying to push it even further and further and further and try to really push the agenda on people of like, I'm really trying to be somebody out of this. I don't want to just be a regular guy tattooing. Yeah, I need to be remembered, you know. So that's the way I look at it, at least.
That's awesome.
And it sounds like you've gone through several iterations of, I wouldn't say finding yourself, but evolving as a person, right? What advice would you give your younger self, you know, to either have accomplished some of your goals sooner or to, you know, just navigate business a little bit differently? What would that conversation with young Maui be like?
I'd say stay the course and stay out of trouble, but stay the course. And, you know, like, don't worry too much. I'm like a heavy overthinker and critical, very critical of myself. So I tell myself to like really let loose, enjoy the process, because it's not really it's not really the end game that matters. It's getting to the end game, the process of like making it happen. That's the best part of it. You know, I'll tell myself, don't be as ignorant to other people and ideas and questions that you may hear. And, you know, it's not all about the money. It's more than the money. You know, we make good money. It's not always about the money. It's about, you know, selling yourself as, you know, somebody greater than people can think you are. You know?
Sound advice. So I imagine in the world of tattooing, like you said, your plan was to set yourself apart. Would you say they're enemies in business, haters in business? I would imagine they're sort of around in this industry. You know, I would imagine that they are. How do you handle that? How do you navigate that?
I wouldn't say they're haters. I mean, there are people who, you know, they may see them as better as yourself, overconfident, I would say, more than anything, maybe narcissistic. I mean, I kind of just shrug it off. At this point, I've learned who I am. I'm focused on me more than anything, me, my team, my shop, more than anything at this point. I'm also in the process of like opening a bigger studio than the one I have now. So like any of that noise that I hear from other people and stuff.
Congratulations! That's awesome.
I'm pushing it out.
You're like, I'm doing big things, people. Yeah. That's awesome.
But that's the thing. I don't consider myself doing big things. I'm just trying to control my universe more than anything.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't blessed enough to say that they got to do what they said as a child, as an adult. You know what I mean? So I kind of like take that into account and try to really like, you know, I make myself proud more than anything, you know?
Yeah, I love that.
I can't like falter at this point, you know?
Yeah.
And being an entrepreneur, running your own shop, but being in this business, right, that is permanent in nature, right? Tattoos are pretty permanent. I mean, they got laser surgery now, but they're pretty permanent. So how do you, what is it like? How do you take the concept that the customer is always right? Because like once it's done, right? Like,
now here's the thing in this business, and I was talking to my coworker about this earlier, actually. Honestly, the customer is always right, but honestly, the customer is not always right. Honestly, it's you have to push people in the right direction. Some things don't work on some people. I mean, I wouldn't, you know, do certain things on certain skin tones or certain styles on like certain body parts. You know what I mean? Because some places might be too tender for certain things. Yeah, I mean, like you just have to take everything with a grain of salt. I mean, just really plan ahead, make sure the customers understand the whole process of the healing stages and things like that. And yeah, I mean, that's basically it.
I'll close with this, as I know we're wrapping up on time. What do you bring from your childhood and your upbringing that when you reflect on it, you believe that it's a part of how you do business today?
That's a good question. I think, well, when it comes to like the artwork, it's more like my imagination I bring in, the crazy ideas I bring forth. I try to like, you know, bring that child out of me and like, you know, this is fun to like have, like to do, you know what I mean? Like I'm living my best life. as far as business goes, I mean, from my childhood, I just kind of look at my dad. I saw this man work 4 different jobs, I think, at most. I barely ever seen him, but there was food on the table. You know, rent was paid, everything was there. You know, we did have a Christmas, so you know, I use that looking at him, and I bring that into my business. You know, we all have the same 24 hours. You know, like I gotta make this day count, no matter what. You know.
Love that. No, and that's that. I think that's sound advice to close with. We got to make this day count. We have the same 24 hours. So I want to make sure people can find you, follow you, know more about your studio and what you have to offer. Please share your IG, your website, whatever you have that you like for people to know and find and locating you.
So we have I have my personal Instagram. It's Mawi Tattoos on Instagram. I do have the shop page as well. It's Obsidian Ink Studio. Spelled like the black stone. We do have, I have a Facebook page as well. That's also Mawi Tattoos. I typically book everything through email, mawitattoos@gmail.com. I am in the workings of making a shop website as well for our artists. Once we get the bigger studio, we'll actually be located in Burke and close to Springfield, Virginia, right off of 95.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh yeah, we'll have merch as well. I'm working on shirts and different little collectibles I'll have for sale for people to pick up on the way in or out whenever they come in for a piece.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the time. Thank you so much for all the gems and just the goodness that you shared with us today. We're excited for you. We'll make sure people can. We're gonna make sure we spotlight Daniel's tattoo even better. I got a better picture of it. I'll make sure people can see, and they can see more, of course, on your website.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thanks so much. This was awesome.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Take good care of yourself.
You too. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.